All right, moving on to the top focus on the Newshour agenda this evening. The Delhi High Court will be hearing the defamation suit filed by Mahua Moitra against Nishikant, Dubey and Anant Dehadrai tomorrow. On the 2nd of November, she's been called in to record her statement before the Ethics Committee of the Parliament. But before that, more uncomfortable facts have emerged which are queering the pitch for the TMC MP. It's imperative to remind you what Mahua said in the defamation suit that she filed against Anant Dehadrai and Nishikant, Dubey. Let's in fact even refer to the details that has been said. She had claimed that all charges are fictitious. Those are the details that have been put out. She has denied charges against her in the affidavit. He has said over here, the contents of the letter dated 14th October 2023 are denied by the plaintiff in toto, which means in totality, and allegations made therefore are ex facie false, baseless and per se defamatory, and were the first step in the conspiracy hatched by defendant numbers 1 and 2 to cause damage to the plaintiff's reputation of being a clean, upright and politician with integrity and morals. That's as far as the first aspect is concerned in what has been submitted. She is denied that she shared her login as well as credentials being a member of parliament as far as the Lok Sabha's website is concerned with businessman Darshan Hiranandani therefore. However, days later in various media interviews, she has admitted to having shared her login but argued that this is common practice. And this compels us to ask, did Mahua Moitra commit perjury? Let's also take you through other details that have come out as far as her luxury gifts are concerned. These graphics very clearly showing 4 phones that are out there in the public domain. Can Mahua Moitra provide proof that these phones were indeed purchased is the question that we understand sources are indicating is going to be looked into very clearly as far as this particular ethics committee's hearing on the 2nd of November is concerned. If she bought it, can she submit the receipts? Can she submit the proof of purchase of all of these phones? That's a very important question. There are other aspects such as sunglasses that she's using. This also is something that she will have to prove the purchase of. Let's go on to the next item. As far that is a watch that she has used over here. That's also something that is going to be looked into clearly as far as the allegations of luxury items is concerned. Remember, Mahua Moitra has demanded that Darshan Hiranandani should provide a list of the luxury gifts that he has given to her if that is indeed the allegation. That is of course a question that Mahua Moitra has posed to Darshan Hiranandani, but now we understand that as far as the complaint is concerned of Anant Dehadrai, that's going to be taken up quite seriously by the panel that is probing this entire matter. This is the information coming in as far as sources are concerned, indicating as to which direction the probe is supposed to go on. And in fact, Times has also accessed pictures of items belonging to Mahua Moitra which have been submitted before the Ethics Committee. Items which questions about which have been raised, luxury items which have alleged to be given as gifts or favours. Those are the claims that have been made. She's also said that Darshan Hiranandani's affidavit has fallen flat. Times has accessed the businessman's affidavit that was signed by him and notarized. The Ministry of External Affairs has made it clear that the affidavit has been signed voluntarily and is being submitted to the consulate officials in Dubai by Darshan Hiranandani himself. The document is signed on the 20th of October 2023. Earlier, Mahua Moitra had questioned the affidavit, claiming that the PMO had forced Darshan Hiranandani to sign it and claimed that it was neither on official letterhead nor was notarized.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Let's take this across to our guest joining us. Tuhin Sinha is BJP's national spokesperson. Barrister Kabir Shankar Bose is a Supreme Court lawyer. With us is Namrata Kothari, political analyst. Vivek Srivastava is a political analyst joining us, as is Tehseen Poonawalla, also a political analyst. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Let me start with you first and foremost, Namrata Kothari. It appears today from the revelations that are coming out that the claims that have been made by Mahua Moitra in the past, at least in terms of information coming in, first of all, questioning, for instance, the authenticity of that particular affidavit, saying what kind of affidavit is this? Now, the Ministry of External Affairs has confirmed that it was Darshan Hiranandani himself who went to that consulate and has got it notarized. Therefore, the authenticity question as far as this affidavit is concerned is perhaps no longer there. Namrata. Namrata Kothari, can you hear me?
Yeah, will you repeat once? Your voice is not clear.
Well, all I'm asking you is that the authenticity of the document, the affidavit, was questioned by Mahua Moitra. Now with the Ministry of External Affairs coming out and saying that yes, Mr. Hiranandani himself had come out and got it notarized at the Dubai consulate, that question of authenticity of the affidavit stands negated. Would you agree? All right, I think there's a problem with Namrata Kotari's audio. Let me take that question across to Tehseen Poonawalla. Tehseen, now that the ministry has come forward, the Ministry of External Affairs says that the document has been submitted, has been notarized by Mr. Hiranandani himself in the Dubai consulate. Does that charge of Mahua Moitra stand negated according to you?
Yeah, that particular charge stands negated and that was a wrong battle to fight, including, in my opinion, and I understand law, going to court on defamation. I don't think on criminal matters defamation really works. So I think those are wrong battles to pick up and fight. I think, I hold no brief for Mahua Moitra, but I do believe that there are questions that need to be asked, not just of Mahua Moitra, she needs to answer questions, but of the government and of the two other characters in this story, the ex-boyfriend and the submissive Hiranandani. Now let's go to the ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend knew his girlfriend was indulging in illegal activities. By his own admission and his own bite to Times Now with Nishikant Dubey, he is an officer of the court who respects the law, but he chose to do nothing about it until he got into a fight with his ex-girlfriend over Henry, the Rottweiler, and then decides to go and give out all the illegal activities she was involved in. Now that the boyfriend, who actually is the witness, who is he roaming with? Nishikant Dubey, an MP who Mahua Moitra is accused of forging his degree. The two of them are roaming together as their best friends since childhood, and now they are going after Mahua Moitra. I find this bizarre. And Mr. Submissive Hiranandani. Mr. Hiranandani had no grey matter between his ears. Mahua Moitra, if she was dominating him to give gifts to anybody, can anyone dominate to give gifts? And what was he doing? He was competing with the big boys in Indian industry for deals.
But the point is, at the end of the day, she herself has admitted to receiving so many things, including sharing the login ID and password of the Lok Sabha website.
That is problematic. If she shared a login password, that is problematic on certain levels. That will create a problem for India and for our systems. But again, with the whole parliamentary procedure, there is no rule so far to convict her on that. Now, what the ethics committee says, so there's a technicality. What she's done is ridiculous, stupid, bordering on criminality. Let's be clear. But the rules don't define it as criminal because everyone's sharing their IDs with everybody. I agree there's a distinction in sharing your ID with an PA or with an OSD as compared to somebody in Dubai.
Okay.
So the parliamentary committee will have to dwell on that. But that she might escape on technicality. But Hiranandani giving gifts across because she was dominating him. I mean, what kind of bizarre logic is this? This all I find extremely bizarre.
Okay, let's let Tuheen come in on that. Tuheen, it may be bordering on criminality, but whether it's actually illegal is still a question mark, says Tehseen. Your response to him?
Well, good evening, Madhav. Like Mahua Moitra, my friend Tehseen also likes to fight the wrong battles. Because if you look at all of Mahua Moitra's recent assertions, the fact that she says, so many people share their passwords, but the fact is sharing your password and that too with a third party. It's not her staff. She very proudly says that she shared it with the staff of Hiranandani, but Hiranandani in his affidavit says that he had been using it. So there are so many contradictions even in her counter assertions. And also the fact that nobody can take away from the conflict of interest case. The questions she asked, imagine if Hiranandani's, even if we take her for a moment, if we accept her what she's saying that is the truth and Hiranandani's secretary was handling it because of logistical issues, even then there is a clear case of conflict of interest when 50 out of 61 questions that she has asked clearly revolves around the business interest of Hiranandani. Also, one more point that I wish to make is that, and I have said this before, when Hiranandani, has submitted an affidavit very duly notarized. There was no specific need for him to mention two other names as close associates of Mahua Moitra. There is more to it that is waiting to be revealed. And perhaps, there are more people involved in this cash for query scam, which you will get to know in the time to come.
Okay, what is it that is yet to be revealed, Tuheen Sinha? Can you give us a clue? What is it that you are aware of that will be revealed?
No, that Mr. Darshan Hiranandani will know better, but there was no specific need for him to mention two close associates of, and including a journalist. So three close associates, and the journalist anyway, has a checkered history.
Okay.
Plus, if you look at politicians...
Well, one of the journalists has come out and completely denied those allegations. Let me say it on record that one of the journalists has come out and clearly denied any such association or allegations. Of course, there have been tweets that have been put out in the past as well, countering that.
Suggest otherwise.
Yeah. Okay. Tehseen wants to quickly respond to you and then I'll go across to other panelists. Yes,
yeah,
Tehseen.
very quick counter. Can the BJP spokesperson and my dear friend Tuhin tell me specifically, without whataboutery, which rule has been violated by Mahua Moitra? A. B. I agree that she may have got some gifts and all, and that you could say or dream up that it is a quid pro quo by submissive Hiranandani, who is the complainant in the quid pro quo. Hiranandani's letter itself does not say that I gave her the gifts in lieu of the questions. So the BJP spokesperson, unless being driven by Nishikant, Dubey, is coming up with fiction on Times Now. I really don't understand which law has been broken. Can you?
No, but he says, he refers to the fact that she knew about certain port deals, etc., that went south.
That's fine.
He knew she wanted to attack the Prime Minister through Mr. Adani. All these are claims that have been made by Mr. Hiranandani in the affidavit.
Okay,
And here you're
that's
doing
cool.
it with third
But then,
parties.
did he give the iPhone in lieu of that? He's not saying that, because if he says that, then if Mahua is criminally indicted, remember, receiving a bribe is an offense. But
Simple
giving a bribe
question.
is also
If an
an
agenda is being pushed, and gifts are being taken from that person, is that not tantamount to a bribe? Does a bribe have to be in cash?
If that tantamounts to a bribe, Madhav, and I accept that may tantamount to a bribe, then Hiranandani is guilty of giving a bribe. You are as guilty of giving a bribe as receiving. So submissive Hiranandani should also be behind the jail.
Okay.
And I promise you, being as submissive as he's not
Tehseen,
going
let
to
me simplify it for you.
Twin, quick response.
Let me simplify it. Let me simplify it for you, Tehseen. There are three issues over here. Number 4, compromising your integrity. She was not supposed to share her password with anybody. Forget third, and she's been doing it with third party. Number 2, the charge of bribery. And number 3, the issue of conflict of interest. And if she's right, she should present herself before the ethics committee. Why these alibis that she's not in town when she was clearly in town giving interview to another channel?
Okay. Interview on Zoom.
Okay. Let me bring in Vivek on this. Vivek, where do you stand on this? Because there are some serious questions over here. There are serious questions. Whether it's the affidavit, whether it is the point. One second, gentlemen, please. Let's go one by one. Tuhin, please allow me to conduct this debate. Everybody will get a chance to speak. Let me go across to Vivek now. Vivek, the point that is being made over here is that the ethics committee is going to probe this matter on the 2nd. Tomorrow there is a defamation case hearing. We don't know what will happen inside the court. But the point that is being made over here is this, that many of the claims and defenses of Mahua Moitra over the last several days are one by one getting demolished. Whether it is the authenticity of the affidavit, whether it is questions that were related to, the various gift items, etc. There are still several questions that are unanswered, and in fact her interviews have raised even more questions.
Right. Now see, Tehseen is a very good legal, and whenever he speaks, the microanalysis is superb. So, but then I want to analyze this question from a very macro perspective, right? Now, Madhav, if I gift you a chocolate or a book on your birthday, by chance I come to Times Now and I come to know it's your birthday and I gift you something, does that mean that I'm trying to bribe the anchor so that he makes the debate easier for me? Does it work this way? It doesn't work this way always, A couple of iPhones or maybe some small watch or, sunglasses. These are gifts which people, when they are friends, they visit each other, there's an interaction, there's a relationship. It's a very common thing to give each other. Calling it a bribe, a phone or a watch or sunglasses as bribe,
where it becomes problematic,
I do not know whether it is right to take it in that category or not. And then
where it becomes problematic? When you're pushing the agenda of that person, that's when it becomes problematic. Because you are pushing a corporate agenda, you're taking gifts from the same corporate. That is a textbook definition of impropriety. I'm not getting into the illegality of it. It may be just impropriety for all you know. I can't second guess what the ethics committee will say, but it certainly appears to be wrong.
सुनिए, please listen to me. Sir, ये बचपना है. क्या मैं माधव को एक चॉकलेट से खरीद सकता हूं? क्या मैं माधव को एक बुक से खरीद सकता हूं? Technically वो bribe होगी?
Sir, luxury goods में थोड़ा फर्क है.
Of Madhav, something bigger needs to be done, yes or no?
Sir, do gifts come under the purview of bribes or not? Please tell me that.
A guy of the level of Darshan Hiranandani, giving us sunglasses to say, "Ek sawal pucho," this is ridiculous. Number 1. Number 2, what I feel is, As is happening in the case of Arvind Kejriwal today, the same is happening to Mahua Moitra. INTIA के हर लीडर को पकड़ के जेल में डालने की कोशिश हो रही है. I want to ask this government, Darshan Hiranandani दूध के धुले कब से हो गए?
Okay.
I mean, since when? He's a bloody culprit. Are we going to punish him?
Okay.
The fact of the matter is, he is the next guy who's going to fund the BJP. He has already had a tie-up with the Adanis via Modi. और ये अगली फंडिंग करेंगे बीजेपी की.
These are unsubstantiated charges. I don't think you can substantiate them. So Vivek, I'm not even going into them. But I want Tuhin to come in and respond to the charge that you made. You compared this to the situation with Arvind Kejriwal. Is there a pattern against the action against various opposition parties here? Tuhin.
Not at all. You know, I mean, in all the states, in fact, in Karnataka, we were not in power. They made all sorts of allegations about us. Now the state government can use the Anti-Corruption Bureau to prove charges against us. Fact is that in all the state governments, and today the opposition has half the states. If they wish, they can go against our leaders. If we are going against their leaders, if the agencies are going against their leaders, it is only because there is substantial proof. And today the Honorable Supreme Court has clearly said that one aspect of the money trail of 338 crores in the liquor scam has been exposed. And let me tell you that Arvind Kejriwal's biggest scam was in the manner in which he set up his cabinet, when 90% of the portfolios was between two ministers, and Arvind Kejriwal himself operated without portfolios, secretly facilitating all those deals.
Okay. I want to bring in Namrata Kothari on that point. Namrata Kothari, the question that many are asking is here, and I hope you can hear me this time round. The question that many are asking is this, that Mahua Moitra has admitted to receiving some amount of gifts. The question is that what the ethics committee will probe is precisely only they will know. But there are several of these phones, gifts, watch, sunglasses, etc. that are expected to be probed. Will she be able to provide a proof of purchase of these items?
See, giving a gift and giving a bribe, these two things are different. Being a citizen of this country, I must say, if like what we are seeing nowadays, if crores and crores of rupees will be, transferred in our account, then definitely we will say it's a bribe. But if we see like this, like Hiranandani is her friend, and he is giving the gift, and definitely of his stature, he will not give a gift of say 500,000, 5,000. He will definitely give expensive gifts. But the point is, being a representative of Indian citizen in the parliament,
how is that not corruption or bribery, ma'am?
And before,
what are you saying? That only if you give cash, it's corruption?
No,
giving expensive gifts is not a bribe.
We will see the nature of the gift till it is proved. We can't put allegation to anyone till it is proved.
They appear to be luxury items, at least that's the allegation. I don't know for sure what was given or not given. But the allegation being made by Mr. Dehadrai and Mr. Dubey is that they were luxury gifts.
Allegation and counter allegation is always it will go on, but till it is proved, we can't
certainly nobody second guessing any quasi judicial body or any constitutional institution. The point is that they are very serious charges now, and the version of Mahua has certainly over the last few days there's been a lot that's come out in counter to what she said.
But before anything is proved in the court of law, how we can put any allegation to anybody without a proof? If she,
that's what we're calling it, because that's why we call it an allegation. We're not saying that she's guilty. We're saying that's a serious allegation. But let me bring in.
If this is proved, then definitely she will be punished, because after all, he is the representative of citizens.
Kabir Shankar Bose, I want you to respond to Namrata. Kabir Shankar Bose, I want you to respond to Namrata Kothari. There's no cash that has been proven. This is something that Mahua has been saying, that there were allegations against me that I received cash. Where is the proof? And B, there are many saying that, look here, it's just gifts. It's not a bribe. How can you conclude it was a bribe?
I want to put something in perspective, Madhav. I mean, it's very clear. Mahua's on the wrong footing here. A bribe is a bribe. The law is very clear. The Supreme Court has repeatedly also held this in a catena of judgments. A 1 rupee bribe can also be a bribe, number one.
Yeah,
number two, Mahua's on the... Ma'am, please, Namrata, let me make my point. You can come in later. I didn't interrupt you.
Yeah, sure.
Number one. Number two, Mahua has not denied that she shared her password and login ID. I mean, I've said this before also, and today at 3 p.m. when I was on your channel just this afternoon, the rules of the parliament were read out, and the rules clearly says that you cannot even share your login ID with your secretary. Now, how can Mahua even go on the defensive here? It is absolutely clear, prima facie, that she is in breach of parliamentary privileges. She is in breach of parliamentary rules because she has admitted that she did in fact share her login credentials. There is no denying this. Now, what will happen in court tomorrow is, it's a different thing. We'll have to see what happens in court tomorrow. The ethics committee is in season of the matter. Now, Darshan Hiranandani, Mahua also came and said she doubted the affidavit. She went and said the Prime Minister put pressure on Hiranandani. Does the Prime Minister of Bharat have so much time to go into such petty issues? I mean, why is Mahua on the defensive? Being a public figure, she's very vocal in Parliament. Why can't she be vocal here, come out and face it? She's not doing that.
Namrata Kothari.
See, whatever Sir has already said, he is right. Like sharing a password and ID, it's not the right thing. But here the question of giving bribe or not, we can't judge that till the ethics committee and the court will, prove anything that whether it's a bribe or not. We can't say anything. Being a, political analyst, how we can blame anyone? We can, we can give our own, view, but we can't level any charges against anybody till it is proved. See, if this be case, then there are many ministers are there in the past or also in the present. They are taking, their lifestyle are so high. They use the public money for their expensive things.
If this is so much above board, tell me one thing. Namrata Kothari, why is the TMC not backing up Mahua Moitra? Can you answer that question? Why is the Trinamool Congress not strongly backing up its MP?
See, this is the party's own stand. I can't say anything about that.
Why not, ma'am?
Why parties?
The party is also in doubt. As maybe the public.
So I see why party is taking this stand. I can't say that, but definitely they are, they are waiting. They are wait and watch situation. They are waiting for the court's verdict and the ethics committee and all. That's why they are keeping mum.
All right.
But I think so.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. I'd like to thank all our panelists for joining us. What happens, of course, in tomorrow's hearing, what happens on the 2nd of November remains to be seen. But Tuin Sinha, Barrister Kabir Shankar Bose, Namrata Kothari, Vivek Srivastava and Tehseen Poonawalla, I'd like to thank you for joining us on debate number 1. In fact, Tuin and Vivek will continue on debate number 2 as well.